Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's trend presentation, RAL Colour Feeling 2026 Plus. We're more than happy that you have decided to spend the time with us and to share your next roughly 45 minutes with us to get some more inspiration and ideas about the oncoming trend colors for the year 2026 and beyond. Today with me on stage, and I'm more than happy to have the two guys with us, are Timo Rieke, who is a professor of color design at the Faculty of Arts and Design in Hildesheim, and our brand ambassador Alina Schadner from Vienna. Glad to have you here with us.
Happy to be here.
Before we dive into the heart of the presentation today, let me briefly serve you with some information and share one more advice with you. If you have any questions that may popping up during the presentation, please do not hesitate to use the chat function and to type in your thoughts, comments and ideas. We will come back to that later after the presentation. Let me now, before I hand over the presentation to Timo and to dive more into colors and application, serve you with some information about our company, as some of you might not be that close to us on your daily business. So who are we? We're one of 5 different business divisions of RAL GmbH, which is headquartered in Bonn, Germany. Founded in 1925, so that's a little spoiler as we may celebrate our 100th anniversary next year, RAL Colors has become a worldwide synonym for manufacturer-independent color classification. With a multitude of various design tools, we offer consumers as well as professionals in the industry, trade, architecture and design the perfect tool for high-quality color design. And we distribute our product through a network of more than 40 distribution partners on a global scale. RAL products, its services, its tools in roughly 85 countries on a global scale, and we are available on all 5 continents. We call ourselves the applied language of colors. Our tools support efficient color planning, and we have on the one hand side the color collections, RAL Classic and RAL Effect, as well as the RAL Design System Plus, which will become the heart of today's presentation. And through 3 color palettes, we provide designers and customers from the industry with precise color samples and material-independent color references. Our color palette comprises a total of roughly 2,500 different color shades, with color swatch fans and plastic standards, as well as color design and trend books. We offer reliable products for color standardization in a globalized market. Our aim is to enable you to make the right color decision with confidence. We really care about color education. At the RAL Academy, we train design professionals in the thoughtful integration and in the strategic planning of color. We advocate a sustainable and long-term approach to color in design, using color as a stimulus to create a more positive future. In addition to that, we offer design services and bespoke color consultations in cooperation with the IIT, the Institute International Trend Scouting, at the Faculty of Design at the HAWK in Hildesheim, Germany. So that was just a very brief overview of what we can bring to you. And now it's my pleasure to hand over to Timo, who will dive into the heart of the presentation. Have fun, and wishing you all the best.
Thank you, Marcus, for the short introduction. The presentation is divided actually in 5 chapters: the concept, colors, combinations, the trend box, and applications. It will take us about 40 minutes to explain the contents and possibilities of RAL Colour Feeling 2026 Plus. RAL Colour Feeling is a series of trend reports, as you may know, made freely available to all for informed, contemporary, integrated color planning. The reports are based on analysis of social, environmental, economic and technological change. And the palette has been curated using scientific methods and in-depth color design experience. The central tool of the report with a view into application is the trend box. It is being published for the third year this time. The box 2025 Plus was honored with the German Design Award in Gold in spring. So we are quite proud of it, actually. And let's see what the new box can do. It is important to see color as a contemporary context. Colors are both symptoms and agents of transformation. And this is also the answer of the question why trends are still relevant. They carry ideas and attitudes. Our emotions are influenced by our environment and the zeitgeist. Transformation only succeeds when it creates situations that carry aspects of beauty too. We have been researching color reference since the 1950s, and with Colour Feeling we continue to write the developments as proactive designers. Having researched the previous developments, we now continue to follow and record the changes based on mega, macro and micro trends research. In doing so, we are observers actually, as well as designers at the same time. The colors of the current report compared with the 4 previous editions, as you can see here. The color language has already been more ambivalent, lively, experimental in 2025 plus. And this continues with Know and Improve 2026 plus. Of course, you can still use all the other reports as they present somehow of the colors of the decade we have before. And with each collection you have 15 selected colors that work perfectly with one another. We obviously use consciously continued colors that have become new classics. This is a statement actually, and some colors do not get old, of course. As you can see, the ones we are talking about are those with quite low chroma, relatively light, neutral, and natural. This year, for the first time, we are repeating a highly chromatic tone, and it's the color that's named Fox Red. We always include a call to action in to have some kind of idea behind all these colors. And for this year, it's Know and Improve. It is a reminder to make well-considered and intelligent decisions in a difficult situation, and not necessarily to make emotion the guiding principle. Whereas, of course, color is a context to emotion. Only content and knowledge lead to sustainable improvement, of course. And this is the only way to create things that are better and not just different. Reuse is a major theme here, as it is an attitude of improving the lives of the many rather than the few. Align your actions with these values. Use the colors to bring content and emotion together to have sustainable solutions.
So during our design process, we developed 6 keywords. They are mediating, informed, nuanced, focused, open and adaptive. They describe the content of contemporary design. They're essentially the guiding themes for Colour Feeling 2026 plus. To make it easier to understand for you, we expanded on the keywords. So our report presents a mediating approach to design that is informed. It takes nuanced colors to achieve focused goals. We rely on an open strategy to ensure that adaptive solutions can succeed. And in essence, our colors can help to make these values visible and translate them into surface, form, and space. So here in this infographic, you see our 6 keywords describing the content of contemporary design in connection with the Megatrend program. This is a simplified version here. Over the next few months, we'll also post more insight into this. There will be a social media post where we'll share with you a bit more detailed information on the macro, mega, and micro trends we looked at. But to give you a quick glimpse into it, you see this content here. So essentially, when content and visual appearance come together, the colors optimally promote contemporary design and the challenges we have. that we can support as designers. I'd like to now invite you to have a closer look at our main mood board for RAL Colour Feeling 2026 Plus. When we're looking into it in detail, we can see that design is at the intersection of innovation and the reinterpretation of the familiar. So on the one hand, digitalization and AI make the new visual worlds possible, while on the other hand, traditional techniques and culture-based aesthetics continue to be valued. What's important is that many people are more informed than ever, and I personally think this is a good thing. They expect affordable, practical, and emotionally appealing products that are also environmentally and ethically responsible. So we encourage all brands and all businesses that we take responsibility to offer attractive, truly sustainable, circular and regenerative solutions. Because we believe that global economic, social and political crisis as well as environmental disasters are only reinforcing this trend, and we really want you to take positive action and not just use keywords without a meaning. So they are actually filled with an essence and a reason for us to support you in actually promoting positive change. When we're looking at the mood board, we can actually zoom into it closer on the level of material, pattern and the form code. For this edition, we focus on natural raw materials, pigments and dyes. On the surface level, there is, as next to matte finishes, we also see lots of glossy finishes in this edition. So there's also really interesting intersections of glossy and matte. The patterns are mostly simple grids. 3D printing is also important, but we also see handmade effects, which also informs the form code. On the one hand, we have soft geometry, on the other hand, handmade shapes. Everything is either inspired by digitalization and artificial intelligence, but of course also cultural heritage really inspires the shapes we're going for in the future.
So let's dive into the colors. Lina and Melissa have created the following atmospheric film about the 15 colors. I think you already get an idea of how to apply these colors, but to apply you need the codes maybe. This is an overview of the colors with systematic notation and the color names. You can already download them on the website actually to have them on your desk ready for application. We'll continue or repeat the film at the end of the presentation, so you can have another look on it. All 15 colors are included in the RAL Design System Plus, and this is based on the Universal Scilab model, making it particularly applicable from a technical perspective. So the color system facilitates precise color communication and enables true color implementation worldwide. As the formulas are widely used, the implementation in RAL design is part of a rationalization strategy. The systematics show quite clearly a picture of 15 colors well settled around the color wheel. Also, we have a balanced mixture of all levels of lightness and chroma. So it's a portfolio that tends to be used for a lot of occasions. Overall, the profile is much cooler than the 2025 Plus Trend Report. You can also see this here in the overview, sorted by hue. So there are three areas: a decidedly warm area, a mid-tone to neutral area, and a cool area. The balance of the palette is also evident here. And now we'll present you the individual colors. RAL 040 50 60 Fox Red is a striking accent color that makes a vibrant statement. It's energetic and optimistic. It looks perfect for highlight details and focal points in any category of design. A small amount is usually enough to attract attention. Fox Red is one of the 5 consciously continued colors. 10 new colors refresh the palette. This approach saves resources, simplifies combinations, and promotes longevity. It frees up capacity for real improvements.
RAL 080 70 05 Garlic Beige calms down everything that seems to be busy around it. Despite its name, this subtle color will never leave a bad taste in your mouth. It's a safe option for staples, but be sure to pair with a few accents to avoid bluntness.
RAL 040 50 30 Rust Colors is the ideal blend of contemporary nuance and timeless appeal. Its inviting, warm and grounding atmosphere is effective across a wide range of design categories, including furniture, architecture, fashion, automotive and graphics and more.
RAL 060 70 20 Peanut Butter has a warm, relaxed and nature-inspired feel. It's easy to combine with many colors in most environments. More neutral than terracotta and more sensual than beiges and greys, it's a fantastic investment at any scale.
A little bit more special maybe is RAL 190 2020 Night Turquoise with a fascinating depth. It works effortlessly across materials and finishes at any scale. Think of it as a more atmospheric alternative to black, and it's an ideal background color for gallery walls or ceilings too.
RAL 360 70 15 Opaline Pink creates an inviting and memorable atmosphere. It's perfect for defining spaces and adding unique details. Contrary to its popular belief, this versatile color looks stunning on floors and walls, but of course it can be used at any design category.
Maybe the same as RAL 2030 40 25 Workshop Blue, that is as practical as it sounds. From ultra matte to super gloss, this color has proven itself in many applications. In general, it's a wonderful color for accents and zoning, but sometimes it can be fantastic to immerse a whole room in it.
RAL 110 85 50 Sprout Green expresses a motivational and really energetic quality. This vibrant color is usually best used in moderation, so really homeopathic dosage can be enough. It's a wonderful way to add a fresh touch to all kinds of physical and digital color palettes.
Actually, it's a little bit more digital than to have it in plaster, actually, as you saw before maybe. So RAL 010 30 20 Pinkish Brown has an air of sophistication about it. Deep and versatile, it fits seamlessly into everything from graphic design to architecture, and from historically inspired themes to modern and cutting-edge styles. You can use it in any style.
RAL 180 80 10 Light Teal has a fresh feel to it without being too cold. That's really quite special for a blue tone. So it's calm and serene and reminiscent of a sun-kissed sky maybe, making it particularly suitable for ceilings as well. Subtle yet charismatic, it's a wonderful balance to warmer palettes and natural materials.
More like an evening color maybe is RAL 2040 60 15 Architecture Blue that has a stabilizing quality. Unlike many other blues, it's not visually receding. Unobtrusive and calm, it combines well with many colors and can be used at any scale too. It is a great choice for those who crave more color but want a little bit more safe option.
RAL 140 80 30 Relaxation Green is a revitalizing color for accenting and zoning mostly. It can look very different depending on the material and finish application. So matte and texture surfaces support a more calming effect. And we've also tested it that we've really seen that when we're using it on higher gloss levels, that enhances the refreshing quality of the color.
but don't use it in large areas actually. So RAL 095 90 20 Pale Yellow exudes a gentle mood of optimism, and it's also suitable for larger areas. It's a delicious alternative to bright white actually, but also needs good lighting to look best. This atmospheric pastel works well with many other colors in the range of design in all ranges of design categories.
You have seen this with the yellows. Yellows are quite susceptible to change in light, but for the other hand, we have a wonderful white option, pepper white, that creates a soft atmosphere in pretty much any lighting condition. It's balanced and versatile. You can use it at any scale. It's much more relaxing actually to the eye and easier to combine with other colors than pure white. So if you're not sure which white you're going for, this is a safe option that you can use at any scale, at any design category.
This is also a consciously continued color actually, and I might guess that the olivine green that we see here, RAL 16010 olivine green, is a candidate for also repeating maybe, because it's a flexible, unpretentious all-rounder for everything from architecture to fashion. It harmonizes with many other colors and works wonders as a relaxing backdrop and hides imperfections very well. Easy to use at any scale. It has a durability built in.
So here is an overview of all the colors with a few shadow effects. As you can see, we really have a lovely collection that works well with each other. We have subtle colors, we have exciting colors, we have light, medium and dark tones, so it's really brilliant to work in a number of design categories with this color palette. You can use the RAL Design System Plus to flexibly and easily adapt our proposals to ensure that the design solutions are perfectly tailored to your needs. So all colors in the palettes can be mixed and matched. And by the way, we really don't insist on the exact shade that we have presented to you now. So our colors can be increased to 135 colors in no time at all. So you have this lovely overview to fit your industry, collections and further contexts. So the overall impression remains the same. So what does that mean in practicality? In terms of sustainability, we really encourage brands and businesses to look whether they have very similar color to the ones we are showing here. So you don't have to have the exact medium tone, but you could also use tones that are slightly darker, have a little bit more saturation or less saturation and so on. And I would also encourage you, before you use one of the colors, to think about the actual application you're using it for. So for instance, if you're using one of the colors at a larger scale, the general rule of thumb would be that you could decrease the chroma a little bit, whereas if you, for instance, worked in packaging design or general graphic design or digital design, UX design and so on, you might want to amp up the chroma actually. So think about it. We have really made sure that the colors can be adapted a little bit depending on your need and purpose. So you can really use them best in your scenario.
So, but single colors are nice, actually, but in combination the colors become, in the design planning, useful and applicable, of course. Our color profiles support context-based design, namely functionality, sensuality, regeneration, communication, or creativity, or experiment. Each of the rows here represent a design direction, a target group, a place, or maybe a need. So we recommend separating places from each other to create a field of tension of color atmospheres. Alina introduces us to the combinations now.
So as you can see here, this combination has a clear, focused and simple atmosphere. When we translate this to product design or maybe a hint at interior design, it's already evident that this is a color combination that's really ideal for making it easier to work. Quite different would be this atmosphere. It's tactile, sensitive and deep. And when we really look at it at different surfaces and can think how it would look in a product design or in an interior and architecture, this would be a wonderful color combination to make it easier to feel. So to have an approach to emotion, so there's a sensuality to them. The next color combination we offer you for for your different applications is one that could work in quite a number of applications. It's relaxed, balancing, and natural. These color combinations are ideal for making it easier to regenerate or to relax. The fourth application is sociable, varied, and connecting. So this atmosphere is really brilliant and gorgeous if we're using these colors to make it easier to communicate. So it really helps the flow of communication. And lastly, a very dynamic, optimistic, and innovative approach. It's a color combination that's ideal to make it easier to experiment. So this is really a color palette that helps creativity. Of course, you can foster or decrease how people feel, whether they are engaging with something or maybe a little bit more shy. So this would be a color palette that's a bit more playful and therefore enhancing the flow of creativity, brainstorming, and so on.
So you can see quite nicely what you can do with 15 colors. How many atmospheres you can target or create. So to further expand the possibilities of these 15 colors, we have developed a trend box to make it easier to design combinations and to make design proposals. This facilitates material-related design, as colors change their appearance, of course, depending on the surface. So the trend box is the centerpiece of the color report. The key, it's also the key to an adaptable design for various applications that lies in the flexible combinability of these 15 colors. The RAL Colour Feeling trend box transfers these 15 colors into different materials and surfaces. Use the patterns of mood boards, use it for patterns for mood boards, for concept visualizations, and vary and expand your color and material selection to create targeted designs. You will find a Leporello that is a summary of the trend report. You will find single sheets of color, 15 single sheets of color, 15 textile samples, 15 plastic samples, 15 metal samples, and 15 carpet samples. So a lot of these you could use for interior design, also for CMF collages. So you may play around with colors and materials and surfaces with this curated collection. Special thanks go to Covestro, Gabriel Fabrics, Object Carpet, Tiger Coatings, and the German Design Council, of course, who are cooperation partners of the RAL Trendbox 2026 this year and also the last year. By using different materials in the same or matching colors, you can easily create high-quality harmonies with a highly professional effect. Hardly any other tool offers such a coordinated use of a pre-collected and comprehensive selections. And all these materials can be bought and applied as they are shown. The foldout, the Leporello, summarizes the content of the report, and it's designed as a tool to be used next to your workplace. Combined with a digital color library, it becomes highly versatile. You can download all these materials, the digital materials, already from the website. But now let's look maybe at applications.
Mm-hmm. So the most important thing is that our colors go from physical inspiration to digital mockups and back to physical samples. As you can see in this little animation in the second field, the digital products make it possible. So that would be the color reader and the RAL digital color libraries. So they're more accurate than ever. As you may know already, you can really already get the RAL digital color libraries. They're readily available at the RAL shop, and they can be used in a variety of software products. So you could use a color reader, read color samples, transfer to the digital palette, and then you could continue your process in a digital way, or maybe you want to work with the original samples. You can also work in an analog way. So both analog and digital and hybrid workflows are absolutely possible with the RAL Design System Plus and with the RAL Colour Feeling 2026 Plus. Colors not only have a different impact with different materials or surface qualities, but also the quantities of colors used really will differentiate the overall impact. We often speak about the art of color proportions. So here you can see our color suggestions for harmonious color design. Some colors are naturally more suitable as highlights, some work very well in larger quantities. And of course, there's always the option to be a bit more experimental with this, but be careful. Of course, those of you who really work with color a lot, you're professionals. We often know that when you're breaking color rules or assumptions about colors, that can be sometimes the more exciting design. Feel free for it, go for it. We experimented with it a lot. There are so many fascinating possibilities in this color palette. Really go for it. Whereas if you're feeling a bit more hesitant or you have less experience in color design, really use our suggestion of what are suitable main colors, what is better reserved for accents, and what are brilliant zoning colors. Then you have a safe, tested version, and you can really rely with that in conversations with your clients, with your colleagues, and use this as a super interactive tool that helps ease the design process. Now we'll take you into a bit more atmospheric inspirations. Before we've looked at, things whether you want to go and have a look at how to support working conditions with color, or maybe support more communication and so on. But sometimes you might have a more overarching approach. So we have 3 different color inspirations as well that I'll share with you now. So the first one, we have used our color palette, and we've fed it to AI, and we've asked it to translate our colors into atmosphere. So again, we can already see that our colors really create the mood that is inspired by the image that you see behind it. Overall, it's really emotive, and it's a wonderful palette that works really in interesting design and applications in lots of CMF design versions. We've split it up further for you. So in the mood board on the left, you can see that we use the same 5 colors, and there's 3 interiors, and all 3 of them, although they use the same colors or leave out one, add more of the other, they have a totally different feel. So feel free to combine even those 5 colors differently with each other. That's what you see in the middle. There's also 3 more inspirations for you, and they create a different look. To see where they are in the color systematics, this is actually something that's quite interesting. So what you can see is that the color contrast here, or the color harmony here, is an almost complementary contrast. And this almost complementary, but not quite complementary, is actually what makes it inspiring and intriguing. And you can really see that it works beautifully in interior design and architecture. So it's a gorgeous color palette that's interesting, it's fresh, it's new, and yet it's so relatable. The second, even more, I think. The atmosphere is just so refreshing. It works in a number of materials. There is so much you can do when you play with the proportions. Again, when you look at the mood board, you see there's different atmospheres possible. There's totally different feel when you look at the color combinations. And again, the systematics show there is almost a complementary contrast, but that's actually wonderful and just works out so well. Again, I love this interior design, but just imagine how different it would be if we used the wall behind the sofa not in the garlic beige, but just in the night turquoise. It would be a beautiful room, just completely differently, but it would work really well too. So you can really play with these color palettes. Very, very flexible. They are super tested from us, and they work in any constellation. And thirdly, this quite atmospheric, lively atmosphere. It's quite accentuated. And again, we see this is a color palette this is a bit different. It's more of a triad of colors. So you can also use it for a number of applications. Again, the color combinations are quite flexible. And the systematics show that it's a solid color concept that works for a number of applications, as we can see here also in the rendering. I think this is an interior design with this lovely warm-cold balanced contrast that would work for many people, many spaces and many applications. Wouldn't have to be interior design.
So, we're nearly at the end of the presentation actually. So feel free to visit the website and social media profiles. There's tons of material actually we prepared to be available for you. So be sure to check in. And we have compiled really a lot of material. You can download it from also the Leporello, you can download it from the website, and all the 15 colors in a digital file are available from the website. So from my point of view, thank you.
Thank you very much, Lena. Thank you very much, Tina. There was really a really big backfresh of exciting, colorful inspirations, and we were really happy that you shared them with us today. We really hope that all the people who spent the time with us and shared the time with us will like it as much as we do. But it's also now, as you said at the end of the presentation, it's a time to give a big thanks to all the people who contributed to the elaborating of this wonderful trend report. You already mentioned the material partners, which were Covestro, Guybrush Fabrics, Tiger Coatings, and Object Carpet. But for sure, there is also, like always, an internal team. And these people were highly dedicated, and we really appreciate their work, which were Martin Kern, Maike Kettenus, Laura Kilian, Beate Breitenstein, Sabine Hirsch, Melissa Lindemeyer, Timo Rieke, Alina Schadner, Markus Schlegel, and Ms. Lina Schmidt, who all contributed. And we see that this is really a big team, and we spent a lot of time, a lot of dedication to work out these, we think, exciting and wonderful color palette for the year 2026 plus. So, being at the end of the presentation, we would now like to come back to some questions that were raised during the presentation in the chats. And the first question that popped up is how will the latest tech developments such as AI, digital screens, etc., influence the choice of colors in the oncoming years?
Shall I hop into it? Mm-hmm. So I think this is obviously an exciting question, and to be honest, this is a question I usually get asked mostly the last few years and increasingly as we discuss AI. And I think we need to look at it more holistically. So overall, what we now call AI, that's changing. But of course, we have actually used artificial intelligence for so many years without having talked about it. So when you look at your phone and you look at the map of where to go, that was already artificial intelligence. So our lives between the analog and the digital have been interwoven for so many years. And just because we have AI doesn't mean that the choice of color will completely change, because in general, as designers, we need to think in phygital spaces, so physical and digital spaces already. Most brands work in both worlds. But of course, AI will make new things possible, and there might be new exciting color combinations coming up. But at the end of the day, I would say most designers that are at the edge of time are already thinking digitally and analog. And I think that will continue. That we interweave.
One next question that is raised very often, what we see in many trend reports is something that is promoted as the color of the year. But yes, as you have shown that during your presentation, the trend concept of RAL is something different. So we provide our customers a color space, a color palette of usually 15 colors for quite a while right now. And the question is, why 15 colors and not just one?
Mm-hmm. The short answer actually is one color. From my point of view, one color is really boring. And also you cannot really do anything with it, except branding, maybe branding products or something like this and make them highly visible. This might work. But we have another approach that's more applicable, that's applicable for the industry, for architects, for interior designers and for designers. So actually if you want to to get in contact with different target groups, with different interior scenarios, with different feelings, of course. You cannot just rely on one color, so you need at least 15 colors to be on point, actually. But of course, you need 15 colors, and to reduce this even more would be a little bit problematic, maybe. But 15 is really handy, and as we could show maybe in the presentation, you have a lot of possibilities, and that's what we want to show. We want to show possibilities, not an easy solution.
Thank you for that. Would you like to add something?
I would like to add something. I mean, it's actually making your design process a lot easier that we considered which 15 colors we're going for. Actually, the 15 colors we have work in a number of industries, not just interior design and architecture. They work, as we've mentioned, in graphic design. They could be applied to fashion, which is totally different. And even when we're talking fashion, are we talking kids fashion? Are we talking sneakers? Are we talking fashion for, I don't know, people who want to spend their days hiking outdoors, or if it's someone who goes to a ball with a beautiful gown. So this is really a versatile palette that you can apply to many, many industries, also the automotive industry and so on. And as this is a global color trend report, you can use it in different areas, in different regions, in different color proportions. We think that the world is highly complicated, and we shouldn't just narrow it down to something that is too simplified, because we have complex issues at the moment. But our profile, our color profile helps us to design better solution for complex issues we have in our world. And we think this is the more honest approach, because we don't just want to have 15 marketing colors. The colors we have actually stem from deep research, where we know they support positive design and positive action.
Can't agree more. One more question that goes more or less into the direction of a question we discussed before is, and it's related to the 5 consciously continued colors. Why do we think that the concepts of keeping 5 colors from the beforegoing trend report is a good idea? Is there a specific reason behind that?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I would like to say last year we did this concept for the first time, and this was the first really big color trend report that was really shared globally, that was so brave to have 5 new colors in a trend report of 15 colors. I mean, we are talking 30% of the colors are repeated. And of course we had internal conversations. We said, how much can we keep, how much can't we keep? Sustainability is a really big driver for us. We mean it, we're walking the talk. And of course, for me as a color designer, it would be so much easier to just have 15 new colors. There is thousands of colors out there, and we could have also just shown 15 new colors. But when we did the extra work, when we went the extra mile, we realized some of the colors are so strong, and they are really a strong foundation that can be continued longer, because they're still appearing, they continue to stay important. And we believe that when you build on color palettes, this is actually how people live. We don't just throw away everything, we layer things on top of each other. And the way we build our color palettes are very conscious, so we make sure that when we have the 15 colors at the end of the palette for 2026 plus, they work with the previous colors before, because we think brands should really consider which of the 15 colors they will introduce, but maybe some brands want to work with some colors of the last palette before. I mean, just remember, when we say the last palette, that's 2025, that's about to start. So we're talking 2 years ahead.
Yeah, and sometimes we just changed also nuances. So
Yeah.
Is it worth doing that?
We think it's not sustainable.
Yeah. Also, actually, with our project partners, for example, we already save 30% of energy in producing renderings, in producing samples, in producing a lot. So it's also for us reducing.
So it's a question of sustainability as well.
Yes.
It saves resources, and when you save resources, what does this mean? When you're saving resources at one part where it's we don't think it's good to have change for the sake of it. When we change something, it has a meaning. It has an actual need for change, and then it pushes a new direction. Whereas when you continue certain things, and they're good to continue, that frees up space, time, and energy, and actually money for other things to improve things.
Changes is one thing that is really surrounding us at the moment, nearly everywhere. And the next question is also related to that. What's our approach to forecasting long-term color trends, especially in these unpredictable times, like the post-pandemic world or the ongoing global shifts?
Well, this is something that's obviously always asked when we're color trend forecasters. First of all, we have to discuss what is a long-term color trend. I mean, we're now talking about trend colors where we know they're a minimum of 2 years, they will be, like starting to build, but then they will continue. So really, you need to understand that when we say 2026 plus, this does mean that at 2026 plus, these are colors that are very important for large parts of the market, but they continue to be important. And the way we build our 15 colors is that we are equipped with a number of scenarios. I mean, the honest truth is no one knew that the pandemic would happen. When we look at statistics, we know that another pandemic will happen at some point. What we can't as forecasters, I mean, I have a little glass cube at home as a joke, but of course, in reality, I'm not looking into a glass cube. What we're doing is deep research. There is no short answer to knowing where color trends are coming from. But each of the colors we choose that they go into a trend report, they are based on many, many sources of research. And this gives us the knowledge that we have a deep foundations for many reasons, for many needs that will be covered in the next years. And even if there are unexpected things that are happening, we have enough variety to show these, which would not be possible with one color or with 5 colors. But these colors are so multifaceted that even if something super unexpected happens, the people working with our colors can shift and adapt a little bit with the color palette we have.
Yeah, you have to adapt actually. This is also our call to action: know and improve. So in the word of knowing lies inside. So read, inform yourself, reflect on the things that are obvious actually, and react to that. Yeah, it's just a part in transformation. In the one part of transformation is to know and improve.
Thank you very much. Timo, Alina, again, a big thanks to you. I think for the time being, there are no more questions in the chat right now. If you have any questions regarding the presentation, the contents, if you have any comments, or if you go to social media and post something about today's presentation, we would like to ask you to use the hashtag RAL Colour Feeling. Please link us on the social medias, especially in LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you are. We would like to thank you again for sharing your time with us today. We hope to see you again soon. Take care, bye-bye, and thank you very much again.